Hey guys, it's Jess, and today I just want to talk about just a snippet of what I believe emotional intelligence is. And I want to talk about why we all deserve to have relationships with people who understand what emotional intelligence is, especially in regards to coming to contact with narcissistic people. Okay, and dealing with it. Um, First of all, people who can sort of understand that when you're in a conversation with people, that that conversational is a two-sided conversation. Okay, and when you're in a two-sided conversation, no matter who it is, no matter if it's a husband, wife, brother, sister, 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 brother, brother, coworker, coworker, um, in any relationship, anyway, friendship, there is still two-sided, in regards to having an open conversation. Those of us who have did the self-reflection to understand emotional intelligence, we understand that. Let's talk about it, and like you're a midst of in the midst of having a disagreement, not an argument, but a disagreement. Say for instance, you do a thing a certain way. I'm gonna make it basic. You place a plate on a table one way. That's your preference, right? But another person believes it's their preference to place a plate on a table a different way. And this is just basic. The basic definition so that you can understand. Um Someone might say, I don't like placing my plate on the table to the far right side. I like it to be of a placemat. I like it to be right in the center of my placemat. And the other person might say, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. What does it matter that you want your plate right in the center of your placemat? And then the person who likes their plate in the center of their placemat, we don't know. Well, the other person might not know the exact reason why they like it like that, or they could have went through some trauma about a plate being placed on the center of a place. Now, who knows why they like their plate like that? They could have been, brought up to think that is just the right way to eat their food. That's the proper etiquette, to have their dishware placed on a table. Who knows? But we cannot act like somebody's feelings about having something as simple as a plate on a placemat, it's not valid. And though we might not agree, we might not even care if there is a placemat or not. If you're on the opposing side, and I'm gonna call the opposite, the person who was kind of like irritated about the plate being on the placemat, you might not consider it important, but to that individual being, that person who is not you, that person who has their own mindset, their own upbringing, their own etiquette, their own perception, that being, that human being, feelings is valid about that plate on that placemat. And anybody with emotional intelligence who has done the work to understand it knows that you say, okay, I respect how you want your dishware or your silverware plated. If that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys? And it's little things like that that can get blown out of proportion because we don't know how to respect people about their lifestyle, their choices. Simple as that. And you have to learn that what might seem insignificant to you might be significant to the next person, because excuse me, essentially, though you might deem it like, you shouldn't call anyone crazy, but if you want to use that term, name calling, never resort to name calling, ever, 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 ever. But it's not stupid, it's not crazy, it's not any of those things. It's just the simple way that somebody likes what they like. And the same goes of like that person who was so mean to that person who, like set plate on that table that certain way. They also have small things in life that they like a certain way. But in the midst of that difference, they forget that they also like things done differently. And that narcissistic mindset takes over. That's what's difficult, is when that person who kind of makes it seem like they don't have anything in their life that they like done a specific way. They kind of forget that they have things, as being an independent person, having your own mindset. You also fall in that category of liking things. You might like your toothbrush to be set in the bathroom in a certain position. And it's just that simple. But in terms of understanding that other person, you are super critical about how someone else wants something so simple done in their life. But when it comes to you, you don't want anybody to say anything about you, or it becomes super defensive. But yet this narcissistic individual over here can sort of have feelings. They can sort of have things in their life that they like done a certain way. But anybody else who also desires those things, they do not agree with it. And this side, that narcissistic person doesn't have the emotional intelligence to understand that people perceptions it's not how you think, they tend to think that their mindset is superior over anyone else's mindset. If they don't think it's important, they hit you with the why does it matter? Or are you still thinking about that? Or get over it. No, because when you go through things, you want people to listen to you. You want to be heard. You want people to talk it through. And I'm not trying to get super sensitive here. I'm just trying to tell the truth about emotional intelligence. We all have this walk in life where we deserve for people who are in our circle to understand that our feelings are valid. And then when we can come to that understanding and understand, like, you can disagree about certain things, but you still can be kind of empathetic to how people want things done in their life. And it's not even about empathy in that plate circumstance. It's about respecting boundaries. And if empathy comes along with that, okay, but it's about just respecting boundaries. Like, if this person likes this plate that way, well, I respect the way that you think about it. And it's not up for me to change it, especially if it's not hurting anyone, But, yeah, so I hope that makes sense. And I truly hope that if this message resonates with you, and if you ever been through a situation where someone have told you that your feelings don't matter, or you're too sensitive about something, or or someone has told you, are you still upset about something that happened a week ago? Get over it. That's not how it works. People don't have to suppress how they feel just because it doesn't bother you. People deserve respect. And if you disrespect them, they're just not going to get over it. They have their own way of coping with it. And it takes two people, logical communicators, to be able to understand it and not just say my way or the highway. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it and shut you down. I'm going to talk over you and shut you down. That's not what you call respectful. And if you've ever experienced something like that, sometimes you just have to walk away from that type of behavior. And once again, I'm just trying to keep it real in the best way that I know how. If this message resonates with you, and if you've ever been in a situation like that, may God be with you, and I truly believe He will bring peace in that circumstance. I hope you have a blessed day. Peace.